really quickly before I get into this, I really wanted to cover this video, but I feel like I wasn't really permitted to, not permitted to, or didn't have the commentary range per se to talk about this. But as as long as you're listening to this right here and you see this video, you can go into the description of this video and find the original video and watch that with literally like no hard feelings. I wanted to post this because I feel like this video actually deserves a lot more views than it has. It already has a lot of views, but it should have more to highlight the cruelness of this child YouTuber, child success type of thing. And I don't think I said this in the video, but there's massive trigger warning. Massive trigger warning. And I figured that my last video was doing pretty well. And at least if I can get like at least 10% of the viewership of that video to go into the original video and share that video, then I've done what I wanted to do. But I'm gonna let you guys get into my yapping of it, and no hard feelings if you go to watch the original video, which I will have linked in the description. It should be the first link. Go watch that if you don't want to hear me talk a whole fucking bunch. Now we're about to take a look at a video with a tale old as time, to be quite frankly. But it doesn't matter how many times this tale is told. Every single time it's horrible. And these type of videos need more coverage. Obviously, she already made her own video. It's sitting at like 1.3 million. This need to be at 10 million. Because this is ridiculous. And this is a thing that happens time and time again. Whether it's with child athletes being forced to go this extra mile so they can get to the NBA, movie stars going to movie stars being pushed to go to these extra shoots, all these other things that come into factor, and why these people take advantage of their children for money, fame, whatever it may be. And I watched like maybe 30 seconds of this already. I just wanted to get into a dive of what we're actually going to be looking at today. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad. And I feel it's so weird because I feel like this video has kind of been like hiding. Not I don't know. I had to figure out this video from someone completely different, which was so weird. I would have thought this video 100 million views for real, because this is ridiculous. And you don't understand how you can like subject your child to all this stuff. Greed is crazy. But let's dive into this.
This is how my mom exploited me for money as a child and simultaneously subjected me to years of verbal, financial, and of course, physical abuse. Okay, so I wasn't going to talk about this again, but due to my unfortunate luck and my lack of cybersecurity, my own mother decided to log into this account using my brother's iPad, which used to be mine, which is why the account was on there, and decided to wipe every single video that I had on this channel, including the ones that weren't related to this topic or her. So I'm talking about this yet again and filling you guys in on everything without the sugar-coated, what I thought was respectful language that I used in the last video that got taken down. So let's start, because I am sick of talking about this over and over again. I have a script in hand, so I don't miss anything.
Hopefully, this gotta be the last time you talk about this. I know that reiterating your pain is not something that you want to keep doing. So all this gets all the coverage that it needs, so that you don't gotta talk about this shit no more, and you can just go on living your life.
As you can tell. But just know that everything that I say is all my words. Here's the rundown. My mom and I have always had a rocky relationship, and it just got worse and worse as the years went on. In 2016, I finally had permission to make a YouTube channel called Jesselyn Grace. I
Okay.
posted consistently thanks to the help of my mom and reached 1.5 million subscribers in 2018, which is when I hit 19.
Damn.
In doing YouTube,
Okay.
I had to deal with years of verbal abuse and sometimes physical abuse whenever I would make a video. My mom controlled what I posted and what I would say on camera. Everything had to be perfect and fake. If I misspoke, said the wrong line, or made the wrong face, she would scream and shout at me. And I was 11 getting called a fucking bitch because I wasn't able to say things correctly on camera.
11 years old? Oh my god. the fuck? I ain't gonna lie. That's some disgusting ass behavior. Yelling at your children and all type of stuff and cussing at your children in general is crazy, but yelling at them for like not doing their hobby how like you want them to do it, like it's not like they like what that's so weird. Oh my god.
after being fed lines of words 2 minutes before the camera would roll. But it didn't matter because my mom wanted the money. We needed the money. And at the time, I wanted to help my family out as much as possible.
This is a very weird and common thing in households that I will genuinely never understand. Um, whether, like I said earlier, child actors, they all have like a very similar understanding. Their parents make them feel that like they had to contribute at such an early age, which is why that's not the case. Like you have children, you're supposed to be set up to support children, and having these children literally in some cases I I have a strong feeling this will be the case. I haven't got past where we're at right now. Um be the only like financial support in some cases with the child athletes, you know. And like there's a lot of like in the I don't even I don't even know what to call this type of like industry that I'm trying to explain of like it's just taking advantage of young people. Like that's not the industry, by the way. I'm just this is what happens to these. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
In high school, I was extremely burnt out, and my mom became more hands off when I became extremely unmotivated and hated making videos. As a kid, you don't really think that what your parents do is ill intended, and to this day, I know for a fact that my mom truly wanted me to succeed. She just went about it the wrong way. And I
Horrible
didn't
way.
realize that there were two forms of abuse happening. I honestly had no concept of the money I was earning, how much things I showed on camera costs, and the
Okay.
random designer goods that would appear in the closet. I also didn't know that only a fraction of it was going towards my savings, my college fund. It never occurred to me that
Where the fuck else the money? Wait, I'm assuming she said college. I mean, not college. She said designer stuff. I'm assuming that it wasn't going to her. Then that her mother was the one buying all the designer and shit for herself. Ah, Jesus fucking Christ.
years of work weren't being saved for me, besides the 15% that I'd only get from professional shoots, and even then, that was rare. Since being in college, fully supporting myself, it feels so discouraging to know that no one thought or advocated to set me up for better financial standing, especially knowing that I wanted to go to a 4-year university. My dream school was Stanford, for years. And the fact that my mom was behind the wipes at both of my channels, knowing that they were my only
She wiped down both the channels? God damn.
sources of income is insane. I am a self-supporting college student receiving no financial help from someone who had me as their sole provider for years.
Oh no. I fucking knew it. The sole provider at 11 through 14 years old? Damn.
My mom's a spender. I'm sure most of my income went into her extensive handbag collection, as you can see here. The account is
You've got to be fucking kidding me. Are we serious? Them different bags too. What the fuck? That shit is. This shit is disgusting.
now private, but these screenshots are from that account.
It's more. That's not the end. What the fuck?
Again, very extensive collection.
That's insane. Stealing your child's money and spending it on designer to flex on social media? That's fucking crazy. That's ridiculous.
Now she spends her time purchasing Labubus and handbags for her.
What the fuck is a Labubu? Probably some crazy ass fucking exclusive designer shit that I don't fucking know nothing about. Them shits is probably hella expensive. Some handbags for the stuffed. Is it a stuffed animal? I'm confused. A stuffed. She buying handbags for the stuffed animals? What the fuck?
Labubus. I'll hide that account for her sake, so you guys don't harass it. But here are the screenshots of that.
That's a W daughter. More courtesy than I think that she deserves. But hey, her mom. She can do whatever the hell she wants.
It's funny that she was able to spend so much money on handbags, clothes, furniture, but when it came to setting me up for financial success, we were suddenly not doing so well. Or
No,
didn't have
college
enough
fund
money.
is crazy.
If I remember correctly, we had more than enough for your classic flaps, your brooches, your jewelry. And what about the close to 80 grand wedding you chose to throw while having an affair?
Oh my god! Wait, hold on. There's no fucking way. 80 racks on the wedding while having an affair?
And what about the close to 80 grand wedding you chose to throw while having an affair? She left my father in 2021, was cheating on him with her high school classmate who was also my stepdad, and I knew about this affair before my parents decided to drop thousands and thousands of my earnings on a grand wedding.
That's fucking ridiculous.
My stepdad was invited to and showed up to it while being in a relationship with my mom. And I wasn't going to blast this on the internet, but Mom, you did take away my only sources of income twice.
Put her on
What
blast.
kind of mom has such disregard and hatred for a daughter who has only given her respect that she probably doesn't deserve?
Yep.
A daughter who took care of and loved your other children and spent years making content that you controlled and signed contracts that you decided, only to save little to nothing when I turned 18. And yet you still have the audacity to say that I'm being brainwashed, I'm being fed lies, that I'm lying. So here's how the rest of the video is
by
going
who?
to go, along with some screenshots and other receipts. You should have left me alone, left my content alone, and I wouldn't have to resort to this. But it is, so that's just the consequences of your actions. And I remember you were always such a big believer in karma. To make things sweet and simple, my mom and I argued literally about everything. Nothing I said or did would make her feel better. In fact, everything I did irked her. For example, Mom, when I was bedridden for 2 weeks, I couldn't stand up without fainting. I had a persistent fever, I couldn't eat on my own, and I couldn't function and get out of bed. You were angry at me the whole time, and I thought it was because I was...
Pause these so they can be read really quickly. Can I lie? Really think about more important to have consideration. Trust you should fight more. Shit, all your stuff. I should have never said you can go out, but I was. So. This is how your mother is talking to you? What the fuck? I'm gonna leave these on the screen for a little bit. These are some crazy ass messages. Why your daughter sick?
Sick and unable to take care of my siblings. I thought maybe you were just mad at me for being sick in general, and being sick was just a burden to you. And turns out you were mad at this Instagram post.
I'm just a great content creator, singer, actress, and full-time student. Most importantly, San Diego is truly honored to be to be a part of that. She's passionate for such a meaningful experience to me. I got to learn so much about our culture and the sports of the annual passion to New Year. Our heritage is something we should embrace, and I believe it's crucial for the youth to be active in this community or to preserve traditions like this. Passion help girls who want the game and build for valuable lives. Those who want to be more involved in the community will take this opportunity to do so. Okay.
I wrote this caption, and I want you guys to read it and see if you can find anything wrong with it.
I didn't see nothing wrong with it.
Is gonna give you unique sounds that actually
it's got to be something stupid and petty.
The thing wrong with this caption is that I didn't thank my mom. I didn't mention her in this caption, where the director or the person making this post asked me for my experience on competing. That is why I was sick for so long, dehydrated, couldn't walk or stand up, and my mom refused to help me because of this Instagram post. This was obviously a pattern. My mom wanted recognition and would blow up if she didn't receive it. Same thing if I had a problem that involved her, it would always be me who wound up apologizing because I wasn't regarding her feelings. Well,
you're a fucking adult. You want a child to regard your feelings? Come on, man.
When I made it, all I was thinking was how to say the right things regarding her feelings. And she still didn't take it well. Mom, you can still paint yourself as someone who gets stepped on by her children, and there would be nothing I can do or say to prevent that. In fact, whenever we would argue, it would lead to me being grounded, sometimes for months at a time. The only way I could get out of my punishment was if I showed my respect to her by posting YouTube videos. Some of the videos you guys might have watched from my old channel weren't out of free will, but to get me out of a punishment.
Oh my God.
Summer after senior year, I was getting ready to go to UC Berkeley. I had graduated from high school and had a lot of things to look forward to. My mom did not want me to go to college so far away. In fact, during the application process, she repeatedly expressed her belief that I wouldn't get into a good college, that I would be struggling in college in terms of finances, and that I should just stay in Fresno.
Why would you tell your child that, though? That you're not gonna get into... What kind of horrible... So you want her to stay in your house and make videos forever? That's fucking ridiculous. Oh my God.
Something that makes money. In fact, during the application process, I had her write me a letter addressed to my counselor so that she could write me a letter of recommendation. My mom ultimately told me that she had nothing to write because she didn't know what good qualities I had.
Your own daughter.
Once we made a trip to the Bay, this was before I got into Berkeley, by the way, I wanted to visit the campus because I had just sent in my UC applications. And she told me no, because I probably wouldn't get into a school like UC Berkeley anyways. So yeah, she wasn't happy when I got in. She didn't want me to leave, and she expressed that with control. My curfew was now 8 p.m. I could barely go out. I had to ask weeks in advance if I could hang out with friends. And if it was too last minute, the answer would be no. Even though I had already graduated high school and I was going to Berkeley in the fall, I had my license and everything, but I was still being treated like a middle schooler. And at this point, we were still arguing every day. Heated arguments, too. Then came the incident that caused me to move out. My mom's curling iron was missing one day. She assumed that either me or my sister lost it, and so we spent all day looking for it while my parents were out on a day trip. I still couldn't find the iron, so when my mom comes back, she's absolutely livid. She cussed me out, cussed my sister out, again, livid over this iron. Then she finds it in my sister's closet, broken. My sister hid it after she broke it and then lied about knowing where it was. It's stupid, yes, but my sister was also in middle school at the time. I was exhausted.
Oh, so this is a kid being afraid of their mother. It's just stupid, like she said, yes, but completely fucking understandable if this is the reaction that they're getting for a fucking curling iron. Like, are we serious?
At this point, I'd spent all day taking care of my two siblings. It was around 1 or 2 a.m., so I went to my room. And then my mom yells at me to come out because she needed to have a talk with the family, aka talk to only me. She started yelling about how I had no respect, and I was fed up, and I was really tired, so I argued back. And when I did, she proceeded to slap me, shove me, and scream. I told her she couldn't hit me anymore because I'm 18. Then she grabbed this wooden mallet, as seen in the photo, and tried swinging at me with it.
What the fuck? Oh yeah, it's time for jail. It's time for jail. It's time for jail. What? That's a... What the fuck? Just swinging it at her child?
Mind you, I didn't even break this frickin' iron. After that, she took my laptop, my phone, everything and anything I could use to contact someone with, so I wouldn't tell anybody what happened. And when I got my devices back, I told my now godbrother Joseph what happened, and I left shortly after that. I didn't tell them I was leaving, I just left, which is why she's blown up these last few months, and has done anything in her power to make my life harder. Honestly, it's just really annoying to deal with, and I don't want to talk about.
What kind of sick ass shit is that? How you gonna abuse your child for years and then what is with these parents? They don't... we living in a sick world right now. And these type of parents are way, way more common than you think.
This anymore, and I tried to avoid the topic as much as possible, but it does seem like she wants a reaction out of me, so Mom, here is me reacting. Also, here are the messages she sent me the morning she found out I left. Not really concerned, just angry. Needed me to watch me the morning she found out.
Apologize. Let me go back and look at these real quick. This not a concerned mother worried about the well-being of her child. What the oh my, bro, what is this? What is this?
Left. Not really concerned, just angry. Needed me to watch my brother, didn't really care. After I made the video that got taken down, she made this written response public on her Facebook. And after reading it, I genuinely laughed. I laughed because here she was writing this as a concerned, loving mother, writing this as if I went rogue completely out of nowhere. And it's just, I
Concerned
don't
in
know.
public,
If
but
you really
abusive
meant all
behind the
of it,
scenes. Shit
why did you
crazy.
take down every single post about me? Why did you take down the post of me in front of a Beamer that you bought with my earnings and pretend that you got it for me? You
Oh,
literally wrote on the caption, because she deserves it. And yet I was never allowed to drive. I had to ask friends and classmates for rides back home from school. This isn't me accusing you of abuse. This is me telling the truth about the abuse. You exploited me and I let it happen. And I didn't realize it until I got older because I was your child. I am your child. And as a mom, you had a responsibility you couldn't fulfill. And that's the clarity that I needed. So I'm sorry to you guys for witnessing this whole mess. I can't recover the old videos, unfortunately, but new content will come out once I get my bearings straight. But for now,
take your
here's a
time.
really
Take your time.
summarized version of the old video that I posted, along with some information that I decided to leave out. But anyways, thank you all for listening, and I'll see you guys later.
A tale old as time, spun again and again. Sick parents taking advantage of their children for their own financial gain. I hope this story that she's telling us inspires others to tell other child, because the child YouTube scene has always been a very weird, dark place, and I hope that other people that are going through similar things have seen her video and are going to speak out as well. While I hope that there's no more of these other child YouTube victims, well, I know that they're out there, and I hope that they get to share their stories.